This isn't gentle therapy or a comforting hug. What you're about to face is brutal exposure, a shock that will shake your foundations. The Collapse Archive didn't come to soothe your mind or stroke your ego, it's here to brutally rip off the mask you've built over the years, revealing what's hidden behind it. Once you understand this, there's no going back. The veil falls, and what you see will change everything. This is not a path for the faint of heart. The system labeled you as dangerous, and that's exactly what you need. While most people are content to live a life of conformity and mediocrity, you're here to shatter the chains that keep you trapped. This method isn't for those who want comfort or validation, it's for those willing to face the truth and allow it to transform them radically. The Collapse Archive was created by those who saw beyond illusions, who realized that most therapies and healing methods are nothing but palliatives to keep you in your comfort zone. They don't want you to know this because, once you experience true freedom, you stop being manageable, you stop depending on them. You become spiritually untouchable, someone who no longer needs external validation to exist. The method is simple but intense. It operates in 5 stages, each designed to crumble a layer of the false identity you've built. First, you map the persona you created to survive. Then, you destroy it. Next, you face the void, that uncomfortable sensation many prefer to avoid. But it's there, in the void, that authentic reconstruction begins. And finally, you integrate this new version of yourself, making it an inseparable part of who you are. This isn't an intellectual exercise or a pastime. It's an internal revolution, a violent and transformative awakening. You can't skip steps, you can't half-ass it. If you're tired of living a life that isn't yours, if you're tired of being kept on the surface while your true self rots under the weight of others' expectations, then it's time to stop pretending. Let's begin. Grab a pen and paper. Put the laptop and phone aside. Write as if your life depended on it, because in a way, it does. Ask yourself, who would I be if I could never mention my achievements again? Strip away your accomplishments, your medals, your titles. Who's left? Which traits of your personality were built solely to please others? Which beliefs did you absorb just to fit in? Burn these answers mentally. None of it is real. It's all just a prison you built to protect yourself, to survive. But the truth is you don't need it anymore. The collapse begins the moment you stop defending the lie, when the walls you've erected over the years finally fall. Most people have never felt a raw emotion, unfiltered, without the need to control or explain it. Emotional flooding is a shock, a short circuit in the defense mechanisms you've spent years perfecting. You won't settle, you won't protect yourself. You'll let it hit, you'll allow pain, fear, anger, sadness to invade you. Go somewhere private, away from distractions, and feel. Close your eyes, set a timer for 20 minutes, choose a memory that still haunts you, and live that moment again, in every detail. Don't analyze, don't judge, don't try to control. Just feel. This isn't for cowards. This is for those ready to face the truth and allow it to transform them profoundly and irreversibly. Are you ready? Let anger burn like fire, sadness crash like an avalanche, helplessness envelop you like a bottomless abyss, and shame weigh like a mountain on your chest. Now, allow these emotions to settle, to occupy all space, without barriers, without control. The upheaval doesn't isolate the event, it connects it to all the other times you felt the same pain. Each broken heart becomes abandonment, each rejection echoes in all the times you were ignored, each shame relives moments when you felt worthless. Let the wave crush you, let the weight of pain almost suffocate you. You're not breaking, you're rupturing. Your body may tremble, you may cry, scream, collapse. That's the point, the flood is controlled, an emotional collapse that ends decades of suppression in minutes. Most of the time, people never heal because they process pain slowly and protectively. This method overloads the system, forcing a reset. It's not safe, it's not regulated, but it's real. Then comes the deluge, the silence that brings no peace or clarity, but a deep void. No motivation, no identity, no purpose. Welcome to the void. Most people flee this stage, panic, rebuild the lie and pretend it's all over. But you're not most people. Sit in the stillness, let nothingness become familiar. This is the death of the identity that was never really you. Now, ask yourself, what if none of this is true? What if you're not important? What if life has no meaning? What if the fear you avoid is the gateway to total freedom? Breathe, don't try to fix it, let the emotion expand. You're rewiring your nervous system to tolerate the unknown. When you stop needing the world to tell you who you are, you can finally decide for yourself. This is where true power begins. Now that your false self has crumbled and your mask is gone, you choose what comes next. But not out of habit, not for safety. Don't fear the imitation of honesty. Most people rebuild the same self repeatedly because they never question their parts. This stage is conscious identity construction, not mere positive thinking or affirmations. Be sovereign. Ask yourself, am I choosing this because it's safe or because it's my true self? Would it still be this way if no one approved? Does this trait serve truth or image? Is it a mask or a mirror? Now, build slowly. You don't need a perfect identity, you need a real identity. The foundation of the new self is truth over comfort. You say what you mean, feel what you feel. No rejection or performance is survival. If staying real costs people, it's worth it. No fixed identity, you evolve, change, grow. You consider nothing sacred except your consciousness. Peace in the unknown. You've already collapsed, already faced the void. Now, nothing can threaten you. Now comes maintenance. The old self doesn't die quietly, it returns in stress, routine, safety. You'll want to rebuild the lie, want to pretend again. But no. The morning protocol is simple. Ask yourself what lie you're falling back into today, what emotion you're avoiding, how you're betraying yourself to keep the peace. If the answer feels uncomfortable, you're doing it right. Collapse isn't a one-time event, it's a lifestyle. Every time a new layer forms, every time you start playing a role again, you collapse it repeatedly until truth is your only identity. Collapse isn't destruction, it's rebirth on your own terms. You now have the complete method. It's raw, it's dangerous, it's not for everyone, but it's yours. Now, what you do with it is your choice. You were never taught to think, you were conditioned to obey. But if you've started questioning the script, if you felt that cold awareness growing inside you, know that you're not crazy. You're awakening. That's what the black laws of whisper were built for, not to inspire you, but to reconnect you. 10 laws they'll never teach because, if they did, you'd become psychologically ungovernable. If you're ready, click the link at the end. Comment that you did it. You've torn down the false self, faced the emotions you've spent your life avoiding, sat in the void and, for the first time, seen reality without your mask. But here's what no one tells you, collapse is the beginning. Reintegration is the war. The world hasn't changed, you have. You'll return to relationships, jobs, conversations, and routines, but everything will seem different. You'll see the masks people wear, feel the inauthenticity and small talk. You'll realize how society functions based on insecurity, performance, and fear. This will make you question, how can I remain real in a world that's still false? This is the true collapse, not just internal, but social. The silent danger comes after collapse. Your nervous system will beg for familiarity, trying to rebuild the old self. You'll be tempted to hide in rooms that demand false agreements, to shrink to fit others' expectations, to pretend again just to avoid friction. But no. Reintegration rule number 1 is clear, never return to comfortable lies. You'll get tired of being misunderstood, tired of being the only one who sees clearly, tired of hearing that you've changed and not in a good way. But that's the test. People will try to pull you back, not because they're bad, but because your transformation threatens their stability. When you collapse, you become a mirror, reflecting what they're avoiding in themselves, making them uncomfortable and you, dangerous. Reintegration rule number 2, protect your energy with precision. After collapse, you owe no one access to your new self. This includes friends who only relate to the old you, family members who dismiss your growth, environments built on performance instead of truth. Choose carefully, not out of anger or judgment, but out of clarity. If they can't handle your true self, they don't understand. Reintegration rule number 3, build an identity you can abandon at any moment. You'll want to define yourself again, that's human. But this time, do it without attachment. Choose roles, traits, beliefs that feel true for now, but remain fluid. If you can't walk away from your identity, it owns you. Stay loose, stay flexible, let yourself evolve without apology. Micro-collapse protocol, daily ego interruptions to stay sharp. Practice small ego deaths every day. Here's how. Mirror, face a mirror for 1 minute. Look directly into your eyes, say nothing, don't blink, don't look away. Notice what arises, insecurity, shame, fear. Let it hit, don't retreat. This rewires your brain to face discomfort directly. Identity swap test, for 24 hours, violate your usual role. If you're always pleasant, say no. If you're always reserved, speak first. If you're always logical, express raw emotions. This destabilizes your self-image and forces awareness. Silence room, spend 15 minutes daily without music, without phone, without conversation or stimulation. Just sit. Let your mind scream, let discomfort increase. Observe it. This prevents the ego from rebuilding distractions. Seek rejection, do one thing per week that risks social discomfort. Ask for something bold, speak an unpopular truth. Disagree when it matters, not to create conflict, but to remain immune to approval addiction. No rescue rule, when emotions surface, don't run, don't call a friend, don't scroll, don't drink, don't explain. Just stay with it. Let your nervous system rewire in real time. You'll emerge clearer, stronger, colder in a good way. After collapse, emotional clarity becomes your standard. You don't react from fear, you calculate, you observe, you decide. Most people respond from pain, you respond from presence. This is the new power you carry. The collapse is not the end, it's the beginning of a life that most people will never touch. You've gone through psychological death, returned stripped, exposed, real. Now, your job is not to feel better, it's to stay awake in a world addicted to sleep. What you think is healing is often conditioning. Now you've torn down the mask, faced the void, restructured yourself from raw truth, returned to the world without needing to play along. But there's still one piece left, the final layer. The reason this method had to be hidden in the first place is that once you really see how the system works, you stop participating. Truth number 1, your pain was never a malfunction, it was a message. They told you your anxiety was a disorder, that your anger needed control, that your breakdowns were weaknesses to be fixed. But what if these emotions weren't mistakes? What if they were signals that your life was misaligned, that your work, your relationships, your self-image were all lies? Your true self was screaming beneath the role you were forced to play. You weren't sick, you were responding normally to a system that made you pretend. Once you understand this, the shame disappears. You were never broken, you were too awake for a world that rewards sleep. Truth number 2, most help is just high-functioning compliance training. Modern therapy wants you to calm down, function, be pleasant, integrated into the same structure that caused your collapse in the first place. Go back to work, re-engage with people who drained you. Take pride in adapting to a reality that left you numb. This isn't healing, this is obedience training. They don't want you to be whole, they want you to be manageable. The collapse doesn't teach you how to function better in the system, it teaches you how to function without it. That's the threat. Truth number 3, control is built on your need to belong. Look closer, every major structure, family, religion, media, schools, corporations, depends on your desire to be accepted. If you remove that desire, you become dangerous because they can no longer shame you. Silence. A deep, heavy silence that echoes in every corner of your soul. In this silence, they can no longer manipulate you with guilt, can no longer sell you identities in neatly wrapped boxes. The collapse has already done its work. It destroyed your need to fit in, to adapt, to be accepted. And in that destruction, you became something they never wanted you to be, psychologically untouchable. Truth 4, identity is a collar, a yoke you've carried for years. All the labels you wore, intelligent, sensitive, hardworking, driven, high achiever, peacemaker, gave others the power to define your worth. Each tag you accepted was a rope others used to pull you, control you, keep you in line. But the collapse broke that collar. Now, you no longer exist to be understood, to be loved, to bow to others' expectations. Your identity stopped being a cage and became a tool, something you use but no longer defines you. You are no longer this or that, you are adaptable consciousness, freedom in motion, truth under construction. And this is the freedom they don't want you to feel. A freedom so deep it hurts, that challenges everything you've always believed to be true. Truth 5, once you wake up, you can never close your eyes again. This is your warning and your gift. You cannot go back to being who you were, not really. You'll try, you'll pretend, but something inside you will no longer obey. Because you've seen the system, seen how everything works, and seen the real version of yourself beneath the programming. This kind of truth leaves a mark, a scar that never fades. From this point forward, you carry it with you, in every room you enter, in every decision you make, in every person you speak with. You'll know what's real and what's performance, and you'll choose truth, even if it's scary, even if it hurts. This isn't motivation. This isn't inspiration. This is your new baseline, your new normal. You no longer ask permission to exist. You no longer chase others' acceptance. You no longer wait for someone else to fix you. You are your own system now, built from collapse, fueled by clarity, unmoved by noise. The real you doesn't need approval, it needs discipline. Discipline to stay present, to challenge falsehoods, to burn anything that tries to transform you back into the version of yourself you've already buried. Now, you have a choice. Either you'll forget this video tomorrow, continue in the comfort zone, in the routine that keeps you asleep, safe, controlled. Or you'll change everything, your routines, your relationships, your identity, your life. This method isn't just something you do, it's a lens you put on and never take off. It will make you dangerous, free, real. And that's exactly why they didn't want you to see this. If something changed in you, if the collapse hit you deep, leave one word in the comments. Awake. That's how I'll know you're not just watching, you're ready. Not everyone will comment. Most will scroll down, to forget, to sleep. But if you felt this, if the collapse truly touched you, let the algorithm bury this. Let it disappear into darkness, but know that for you, there's no going back.